Okay, so I finally got this one put together for you guys. I have been promising it for a couple of weeks, but I finally had the time to put the Crimes of Grindelwald final trailer in chronological order. This video contains only the scenes from the final trailer because if I used all 3 trailers, there would be just way too much information for one video. But if you want to see my thoughts on that from when those other trailers came out, click on the cards. I've made a chronological order video for both of the trailers so far. But here's just one more time thoughts on what's going to happen in Crimes of Grindelwald based on the trailer. Also, in this video, I might say things will happen a little bit differently than I said in the other videos I made. And that's mostly because we have more information now. Although, I mean, all of them are completely speculation. I have not seen the movie yet. I have no idea what actually is going to happen. These are just my thoughts based on seeing the trailer. So let's get started and go through the trailer in chronological order. First of all, there's a whole bunch of scenes about Grindelwald escaping, and I think that this is going to be one of the first things that happens in the movie, that Grindelwald is going to escape while he's being transferred from the US to Azkaban, or another wizarding prison. If you want to know more information about my thoughts on that, click the card and check out my video from 2 weeks ago where I talked about how will Grindelwald escape, and I went through all the video clips from this scene. Anyway, so the point is that he escapes and then he starts gaining a following. At this point, Dumbledore realizes that he needs help from Newt because of Newt's experience with Credence in the US. Dumbledore comes to talk to Newt in London and tells him what's going on, and Newt says that he'll think about it. Eventually, Newt talks to Dumbledore again and says, okay, I'll help you, I will go to Paris, and so Dumbledore tells him what's going on more fully. So Newt enlists the help of Jacob, who is also in England for some reason, I don't know. But they travel from England to France via this bucket that is a portkey. When they do get to Paris, they notice that there is some strange connection from this square here to a kappa. And honestly, I don't know what this scene is about, so I guess we'll have to wait for that one. Anyway, but the important part is that they go to this circus in Paris, and that is where Credence is. And this is also where we get introduced to Nagini, the Maledictus who turns into a snake. At the end of this day that Newt is at the circus, figuring out what's going on, trying to get contact with Credence, Credence gets kind of angry at Newt just because of everything that's happened to him, and that ends up letting out some of the circus creatures and people, and so the Oni is let loose. Anyway, Tina just so happens to be there and watch all this go down, but the Oni gets loose and Newt is able to stop it and calm it down because of his way with beasts. Also, there's this one weird sewer place where Newt and Dumbledore correspond a bit, and Newt keeps the notes that he needs to remember, like who Credence is, the fact that he's related to Leta Lestrange. We've established that one before. So then, also, because Tina saw Newt, she follows him and finds his little secret hideout in the sewers, and this is where they first cross paths again. Meanwhile, after the commotion in the circus, it's obvious that Newt is doing something in Paris, and they realize that he's there on Dumbledore's orders, so members of the Ministry of Magic go to Hogwarts to talk to Dumbledore about what he's doing. Also, around this point is when we get more backstory behind Dumbledore and his relationship with Grindelwald. He looks into the Mirror of Erised and sees them as young adults together. The memories of his past that kind of haunt him. Anyway, back to France. Tina had picked up Newt, and Newt agrees to help her with some business at the French Ministry of Magic. They go there and some of the members of the ministry get a hold of Newt and try to figure out if, since he's helping Dumbledore, maybe they could get him to help them. But Newt has a hard time really choosing a side because he doesn't want to be on a side, he just wants to do what's right. And so that's why he was helping Dumbledore, is because what he wanted done was what felt right to him. But the other stuff didn't so much. So they end up clashing heads a little bit, and then plus there's probably something that Tina did as well, and it leads to this. The Oni shows up in the ministry, and they have to run from their lives. Luckily, they're able to get help from Leta Lestrange running through the middle of the ministry and causing a little bit of a distraction. And they run into Theseus as well, but they're able to stop him from stopping them. and talk to him a little bit. Theseus is all like, you have to pick a side, and Newt's like, I don't like picking sides. Anyway, they're able to get out of the French ministry safely. I think that maybe these mountains are where the French Ministry of Magic is, because then there's this scene where it like kind of blows up, and then there's this window that breaks out, and maybe that's them breaking out of the ministry. Who knows? Meanwhile, obviously Grindelwald's doing some dark business. He is making these let-the-fold sheet-looking things come. I don't know if they're actually let-the-folds. That's what I thought the first time. We'll see, I guess. I feel like there's just way too many of them for them to actually be let-the-folds. Maybe it's just some weird dark magic. Anyway, he's making stuff go down in Paris, and it's not really going cool. But that's also when Queenie shows up. I don't know exactly what these scenes are about. She shows up in Paris and is trying to figure out what's going on and kind of starts crying. I don't know. Anyway, on to the stuff that I feel like I can figure out better. So then, Credence and Nagini are hanging out, and they go to this random building, and Credence pulls Nagini through the wall to hide because one of Grindelwald's men have shown up to try to get Credence. Anyway, Credence kind of blows up the place to try to get from getting caught, but then Credence ends up getting caught, but Nagini doesn't. Nagini crosses paths with Newt at some point, and so that leads to this, them going to Hogwarts to try to get Credence, because apparently that's where Grindelwald's men took him? I think this is some US ministry lady. She drowns out some part of the Black Lake of Hogwarts or something, and so then Nagini's trying to save someone, probably Credence, but then what really happens is Newt comes to the rescue on a Kelpie. And last but not least, they find themselves back where Grindelwald has been having all of his meetings, which is probably somewhere in England, but I don't know exactly where. That's one reason as well why they've returned back in that direction. But they find Grindelwald meeting with his people, and it turns to this big epic battle at the end of the movie. And if you want to know more details about what I think about it, click the card again. I made a video last week about all the details on this scene, so definitely go check that one out as well. Basically, in the end, they're able to fend off Grindelwald enough, but not win, because, you know, it's the second movie out of 5. So in the end, there's a bit of destruction, but they were able to survive and keep the hope that they need to keep going and eventually defeat Grindelwald, which won't happen for another 18 years. Anyway, thank you for watching my version of the Fantastic Beasts trailer in chronological order. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if there's really anyone else who does this, but I find it fun, and I think it would be a good thing to share with your friends. Also, just a couple weeks ago, I hit 50 subscribers, which is a great achievement, right? Well, the thing is that I've been doing this for almost a year now. I started last December, and I made a goal to do it for a year and try to get 100 subscribers. So I'm only halfway there, and I have about a month and a half to go. So share my channel with your friends, share my videos with their friends, and try to get them to subscribe too, because I would love it. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, which you can do by clicking down here. Also, check out my other videos up here. You can check out my last Fantastic Beasts trailer in chronological order video, and down here is just the playlist of all of my Fantastic Beasts videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!